Sydney in general, they look so beautiful. I'm in love with this city. This is not part of the plan at all, but it happened and it felt so organic and so nice to just meet you, right? How to be inspiring? Oh, that is a loaded question. I feel like I'm just a regular person. So for people to come up to me and say that is kind of strange, right? Because I'm just living my life. For you to say that I'm inspiring, maybe that's a reflection of how I keep looking for inspiration from other people. And I guess me sharing my inspiration to others, success to me means just being able to do what I actually intend to do, really. It's internal.
Yeah. Hello, good afternoon, Julia.
Hi, good afternoon, Lovanne.
My name is Lovanne. Here in Sydney, they call me Lou. It's a new name, Lou.
Basically, your name is Lovanne, right?
Lovanne. It's just
Lovanne.
like
I
Lovanne.
love the pronunciation.
It's first episode, by the way.
This is your first podcast episode. Yes,
the Lovanne Talks.
Thank you for having me as your guest.
I need to introduce your name, Julia Richards.
I like to go by Richards for my online persona, but you can call me Julia. Everyone else can just call me Julia. It's fine.
Got some research about you, like your background.
That sounds scary.
You've been into interior designing.
I studied interior design in the University of Sto Tomas in the Philippines.
In the Philippines?
Sampaloc, Manila specifically. And but I haven't been practicing interior design. So it's just a passion of mine for now, but I'm working currently as a professional photographer in Metro Manila.
Wow. So what brings you here in Australia? Here in Sydney, specifically.
Thanks for asking. Well, basically, this is a family vacation. So it's my first time outside of Asia.
All right.
And it's a pretty big trip for me because I never thought I'd be able to do this, to be honest. But it was something that I've always wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And now we're here with I'm with my parents, and we've just had the greatest time. We're sadly going to go home tomorrow, but I'm so glad I got to do this with you.
What experience that you've, experienced here in
Sydney?
In Sydney, yeah.
Well, all the touristy stuff. Basically, Taronga Zoo. Got to see the Blue Mountains with the Three Sisters. It's really, really nice. But for me, I'm really into architecture, obviously, even if I don't practice. I love looking at the city, like Sydney in general, and specific areas like the rocks and what have you. They look so beautiful. I'm in love with this city. This is the best city so far that I've been to.
Julia is a very humble person, you know what? Because we've met in an area where I'm working, literally.
Basically, I was eating at this super fresh restaurant down in Chinatown. Can I say?
Yeah.
The Boiling Crab. And I noticed that our server was super nice and that she was Filipina. You can tell. You can always tell. Especially with little words like the greetings, like magandang hapon or what have you. So we know she was Filipino, started chatting, super nice, and then got to know you.
It's me, the
It
server.
was Lovanne. The server was Lovanne, and she mentioned that she was an architect, and I was like, excuse me?
Guess real estate. Yeah.
What?
What?
So that was really interesting. So decided to have coffee afterwards and
we
talk about
it.
what we're doing here. And now we're in this podcast. So thank you for having me.
I'm inspired by your story, and also our audience will also love this. And your fans will like, oh, Julia is in Sydney and having a podcast.
Yeah. Well, again, this was a vacation, but another thing I like about life is happenstance, or you could say serendipity almost, because this is not part of the plan at all, but it happened and it felt so organic and so nice to just meet you, right?
Thank you
this.
so much.
So.
And I don't know her really, and then we exchanged our IG, and then I thought, oh my gosh, it's like lots of followers. What happened?
It's all right.
So yeah, she is. You are very you have this humility with yourself, and I could see that, and it could this girl is such a nice one and very inspiring. How to be inspiring.
How to be inspiring? Oh, that is a loaded question, because for one thing, I first of all thank you for saying all of those nice things about me, but for me, as the one experiencing my life, I feel like I'm just a regular person. So for people to come up to me and say that is kind of strange, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm just living my life. I'm just working. I'm just, going around places, doing everything uh, everyone else is doing. But that's my perspective. So it's kind of hard for me to say how to be inspiring when I also look to be inspired myself. Like I always go around places and meeting new people to be inspired. So I guess for you to say that I'm inspiring, maybe that's a reflection of how I keep looking for inspiration from other people. And I guess me sharing my inspiration to others is what makes me inspiring. Kind of strange sentence. It's not something I'm very comfortable saying, but that it is what it is.
Who is Julia behind social media?
Ooh. Okay. So
Yeah.
I have my Instagram. Should I drop that? It's
Yeah,
at the
I think
Julia
so.
Richards.
It's
I
okay.
don't currently have access to it right now, but hopefully when I get back to the Philippines, I'll be able to log in.
Yeah.
So that's actually my personal account. It's not a work account, unlike some public figures, right? Not saying that I'm a public figure, but let's go with that. But that being said, I do curate my social media. So what you see there is me, but it is only a portion of me. The real me is a lot more
Like
laid
what?
back.
Like what? Like what's
A lot
kind
more
of
laid back.
laid back?
Yeah, yeah. Because my social media is obviously, I can't say that it looks professional per se, but it does look, again, curated, right? You're not going to see me going around bars or drinking or whatever, because that doesn't look very professional. But I still do that. I'm still a normal human being who likes to go out and drink during the weekends with friends and stuff like that. So that's me. But for the most part, you're also going to see a lot of random photos on my social media. And that's really who I am. I love taking photos and videos of everything and everyone. So you can already imagine that me being here in Sydney is such a treat because everything is so beautiful. Everything has a story. And that's the kind of thing that I really, really want to like focus on a daily basis. The things that I see, the things that I feel when I see those things. I'm very visual, you could say. So that's me. That's me.
Tell me about your photography as career. Yeah.
I'm basically a portrait and events photographer. Everything except sports and landscape. I don't do those.
Okay.
So I mostly take photos of people and, architecture and interior as well.
Architecture.
Yeah. But for the most part, people, because I love people. Like,
Okay.
I used to think I was an introvert, but now I'm pretty much an ambivert. It's like
Yeah.
basically
It's
right smack in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle.
So I get my energies from myself. So in that sense, I am an introvert, but I love connecting with people. It also recharges me. That's why I say I'm just basically both, or in right smack in the middle. And connecting with people again inspires me, and that's why I love taking photos of people. And even if I don't know these people, like for example in a wedding, I don't know people there. My clients are the bride and the groom. Everyone else literally strangers to me, but I take photos of them anyway for my clients because I know that those people matter to them. This is just a side story. I had a client whose grandpa passed away, and they contacted me. And this was in the early stages of my career as a wedding photographer. And she asked me if I had a photo of her grandpa. That was a solo shot, okay, not like
Wow.
part of a group or anything. And as I looked through the files, I didn't. It was so bad for me. Like it wasn't exactly part of my JD. Like I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But that's when I realized, oh, you know what? These aren't just photos. I mean, I already knew that, but it reminded me that these aren't just photos. These are memorabilias for these people. Like in that instance, they needed a photo of their grandpa,
their grandpa.
like the best photo that they could find, and I couldn't give it to them. That felt so bad to
Oh
me.
my gosh.
So that's something that I, from now, like moving forward, try to do all the time when I take photos of events. Every single person. That way, when you need a photo of that person, I can at least provide it for you. So that's how much I love
Wow.
families and relationships and people. And that's why I love photography because I get to capture that for people.
Wow. It matters, like,
Matters a
family
lot.
matters
Yeah.
a lot.
And that's probably because I also grew up with an archive full of our family photos. Like, I think my oldest photo is from the 1800s. It's like I have records of my family, and it means so much to
Yeah.
me. And it also means a lot to me that I can do that for other people. Like, provide them good family photos.
I have also a question now from me.
Mm-hmm.
If I'll be a photographer
Mm-hmm.
and I'll, give a kind of like a shoot or something that's for me to take some photo of you, what part of your body that you want me to,
Oh,
to
that
take?
is an
Yeah.
insightful question. First things that I learned as a photographer was actually to take photos of myself. So self-portraits.
Really?
Not the typical selfies, although I have
Yeah.
respect for people who take wonderful selfies, okay? But I did learn how to take my own photos because I'm an only child and I have no one else to photograph at home. I had to learn to photograph myself. But that being said, if you had to take a photo of me, I would say it would be my face. And not because it's the prettiest part of me. In fact, I think it's the least pretty. I know it's a little weird, but for me personally, I feel like it's the least pretty one, but it also holds the most story.
Wow.
Obviously, because that's your face and that's your eyes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's the windows to your soul and whatnot. So for me, if you had to take a photo of me,
That's
even if
your
I
face. You have a
even
lovely
if I don't
face.
like my face, it
you
would
have
have
a
to be
lovely
that.
face.
Thank you. I think we all do. You especially.
Yes. How could you, like say, in general aspect of life, how would you like relate yourself to being successful, and what is really the definition of success, for
Success
you?
for me. Okay, so I think when I was younger, if you had asked me that, definition of success would have been to be able to live on my own, provide for my own, possibly provide for my own family in the future. But now I think success to me means just being able to do what I actually intend to do. So, for example, it's a very small example. When I was in high school, I was inspired by Starbucks baristas. I'm sorry, I don't mean to name drop any corporations, but
It's okay.
I was
Barista,
yeah.
being a barista, yeah.
I was super inspired by them because they were so nice. Okay, they gave the ultimate customer service by talking to me, greeting me, talking to my grandparents at the time. And I thought to myself, as a teenager, wow, I want to be like that. I want to learn how to connect to people the way those baristas do. So
Okay.
I checked that off my list. The moment I stopped going to college, immediately signed up for being a barista and I got in. So
wow.
things like that. To me, that's success. Like actually going for something that I wanted to go for intentionally. It doesn't matter if it's grand or something as small as being a barista in a coffee shop. It's just something that I wanted to do. Going after it, I did it. I
That's-
like to study.
It's like
little bit.
It's like a game role play.
Sort of. It's like I have to check all of these things. I really want to learn about these things, so I want to go after them.
Art. This is when you're into photography, the angle, it's and the color. It's and then you
All
can
of it.
it's a really good, right?
I love working
And interior
with all of this.
designer photography is just like
For me, it's kind of
kinda
related,
like
right?
related, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I said I was a
That's
visual
good.
person.
Yeah, that's good.
So all of that to me is beauty. Like even when you see things like, for example, a dingy alleyway or something, to me that's beautiful. There's something visual about it that's just striking. Whether it comes to design or even just taking a photo of it, every aspect of anything visual to me is just amazing. I am
Okay.
so glad to be able to see. But career-wise, apart from being a photographer, I also do house tours for YouTube, basically. And I would actually like to keep doing that, hopefully. So hopefully my fans or our fans support
Okay,
us
our
enough.
Support Julia. You.
Support us enough so that we can keep doing what we do. But I would love to do house tours in different countries.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now we've only done Metro Manila, and we have been fortunate enough to do one in Indonesia, Bali, and several islands in the Philippines like Boracay.
All right.
But
So how about here?
imagine here exactly. Oh, I would absolutely. I am gushing
Yeah.
right now for those
I
listening
want
to
to
the
be your partner.
podcast. I would love that. I would love that because
Well,
you are an architect.
I'm an architect.
So Lovanne is an architect, and I would love to work with you as well. But
for
yeah,
18 years.
we shall see in the next 5 or so years, right?
Yeah.
Oops. But yeah, I would love to do international house tours as well.
Good.
Even if it's not exactly photography, it's also it cleanses my palette, you could say. Like I love being able to do house tours and then photography and just juggle between the two and other things that I also do on the side sometimes. It makes me feel fresh and on the move, and it doesn't make me feel stuck.
wow. Architecture, is really great here in Sydney.
It is
It
the
is.
most beautiful architecture I've seen. ever.
Like
That's
every
a
corner
tall.
of Sydney has like, oh my gosh, I really wanted to have like photos and videos
I
in every
know.
single corner of Sydney.
When you, I think my favorite part about it is when you take a photo of the city skyline, you don't just see modern buildings, you also see the old. And it's literally a mixture of the old and the new. And that is something that I'm truly in love with here in Sydney.
Yeah, and how about the people here in Sydney? I
Oh, they're
mean,
great.
they're really great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you.
Well, I mean, when I my first time here, oh my gosh, the first step in the arrival
Mhm.
area in the airport,
Mhm.
people are very friendly, like big
Super
smile,
friendly.
like
Yeah,
like oh, they're very warm people.
they are.
They are, and yeah. But
Very
yes, I'm living
approachable.
here now, so it's just like oh, I'm very proud of being part of Australian,
I'm so glad that you're
staples.
here and also pursuing your dreams and your career. Right.
Yes, I'm aspiring to be a chef. Yes,
So
as you mentioned that as long as you're aspiring your heart, I mean the
mhm,
love of your heart,
mhm.
and everything will be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it's fine.
Like I said, that's my measure of success. Like
Yeah,
actually having a goal and then going for it, and that's exactly what you're doing. So to me, in my eyes,
yeah.
you're very successful.
Success is here.
Yes, yes, exactly.
It
It is.
should
It's
be.
personal.
It's personal. It's
Personal.
personal, not the money or whatever.
No.
Sometimes you'll just I got millions in my bank and and I'm very successful.
Yeah. For others, it's very figure based or something
Hmm.
that you can count physically. But yeah, success is really it's internal.
Yeah. When I was in Philippines on 18 years in the business of construction, the
Oh,
life
such a
there
long
is
time.
really good. I know,
Yeah.
but I
You've been
choose
doing
to.
well in Manila.
That's success. Success is that when you choose your heart to be happy, yourself to be happy, and that's
I think based off of your story, the real success there is building a career for, as you mentioned, 18 years in construction, being an architect, and then having the courage to sort of drop that
yeah,
and then pursue another career from
from
scratch
scratch.
in a different country. That is so gutsy, super gutsy,
Yeah.
and that's really inspiring to me.
If you can share something about your relationship or your love, how Julia loves someone, or how
Ooh.
Julia be into someone.
I see. Okay, so I'm very consistent.
All right, that's
I've
good.
been friends with my friends since grade school, and I love them to death. And
Loyalty.
it's the same, yeah. It's the same with my relationships, of course. They can last for years. My current relationship right now is going on its 10th year.
10th year.
So, and
Wow.
I feel like it's super fresh. So I don't get tired easily, obviously. And like
Wow.
I still feel like it's the honeymoon phase, but it's obviously it's 10 years already or almost 10 years. So I love getting into relationships, whether it's romantic or friendly or platonic rather,
Yeah.
that mean a lot. So meaningful friendships. I meet people on a daily basis. I meet people a lot. I meet clients and just random folks like you. We just met.
Yes,
We just met, and now we're
yeah.
here talking, right? But I am very selective about the people that I actually spend my time with
Mm-hmm.
because I can tell also whom I will have a genuine connection with, and those I really go hard at making it work, kumbaga. But yeah, I'm very machaga. I could say that I have grit.
Oh yeah.
I have grit when it comes to relationships. Like if I like you and I feel like our relationship is worth
Yeah.
preserving,
Preserving.
then I will.
Good.
So because I'm not the best at communicating literally, like texts, emails, and whatnot. I'm not the best at that. But that's the reason why I say I make an effort.
Okay, see, what is your language of love? Like
Words of affirmation.
not touch.
Yes, touch also, but that's reserved for my partner.
Okay.
But for everyone else, it's words of affirmation.
Oh.
And well,
Okay.
I display all of the love languages basically, but I would say that those are the top two.
You've been into a relationship for 10 years,
Yeah.
right? So have you have a crush with someone or something like
During the 10 years?
during the
Absolutely.
10 years? All right. Okay. being honest.
No, because the thing is, we're human, right?
Yeah.
It's just because I'm with someone doesn't mean I cut off my eyes. I can
Okay,
still
okay.
see if someone's attractive or not. But the difference is I don't do anything about it,
Okay.
right? So I'm with a partner. We're monogamous. I'm with him, just him. Um, so it's a conscious decision, excuse me, of course, to only stay with one person, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I can't appreciate other people that I meet who are wonderful. Because there's a saying, you're not going to be the best, right? Your partner's not going to be the best person in the entire world
Entire
ever.
world, yeah.
You are going to meet other people who are also equally, if not more amazing than your partner. But it is a choice to stick with the one you chose,
It is, yeah.
right? And you chose your partner for a reason. I chose my partner for a reason. So, and I'm very happy with that. So I just admire the others that I do meet, like a crush. It's like I admire them for who they are, but I'm not going to do anything about that. It's just, no, they're a great person.
A word for everyone now watching.
Well, you mentioned earlier that my stories were inspiring,
Yeah.
but
very.
I have to, and thank you for that. I really don't notice that as much until someone points it out to me because it's my life, right?
Yeah.
But I think I have to thank the people who are kind to me, like you. Like, I don't think I'd be able to enjoy this life that I live right now if people weren't kind to me and if I weren't kind to people. So it's like paying it forward. It's not doing things or it's not being kind to get something in return. Never. Just be kind and things are just going to go your way. Like, because I was very accommodating to certain people, I somehow ended up doing house tours. And because I was accommodating to you and you were accommodating to me, we're here now in this podcast room. So I think it's a lot to do with people just being nice to each other, basically being nice.
Being nice.
I think everyone should do that because it opens up possibilities for things that you didn't even know could happen to you that are super,
and
super nice.
kindness as well, right? Kindness to people and being. I've learned here in my journey that being humble, humility is very important as well, and being kind wherever you are,
Absolutely.
wherever we are.
Yeah.
Then we need to be, humble. And just if you cannot do it, then just say no.
Fair, yeah.
Just,
Yeah, yeah.
So this podcast, Julia, is just like, this is a voice. Like you have your voice.
We all have voices.
Yeah, voices. Telling your story. And so everyone will be inspired.
Well, hopefully this
Yeah.
also inspires some of you guys watching or listening to be kind and be open to opportunities.
It is.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Just like
It should. And I know we need to just say thank you, everyone who's watching now, and and
I
Julia
almost
as well.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we have cameras here.
Yeah.
So we'll be missing you here, and and I hope
I'll
we
be
could-
missing you and Sydney, and I want to be back. Not gonna lie.
when.
That's a big question mark. We'll see. But
Let's have our
but
podcast
I
here.
want to go back.
More
Absolutely.
podcast, and yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so I think we need to just like say goodbye for
now?
for now. And this is for the first episode that's for Lovanne Talks. For this is very inclusive. And yeah, by the way, the organization supporting us right now, I'll be talking about Women of Global Change, which is an organization in the US.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, they're into this, like, inspire others and like you, and they will be happy to see you for this first episode that you, Julia, inspired us.
My goodness. Well, I can't wait to see the rest of your episodes so that I can also watch other inspiring women and men.
Women, men. Yeah.
All of them.
All of them. Okay, thank you, and have a safe flight tomorrow.
Thank you also, Lovanne, and I hope you enjoy your stay here in Sydney.
See you soon.
I will definitely see you soon.
See
See
you
you
soon.
online as well. Bye.
Bye.